The following is a special presentation of 18 WJTS Sports. This is Indiana High School basketball here on 18 WJTS TV. High school basketball is proudly brought to you by Southern Indiana Propane, Mehringer Plumbing, Heating and Air, DuBois County Tire, and Ubalor & Sons Chevy, Cadillac, Toyota. It's time to settle in, as tip-off is moments away.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Jasper High School basketball coverage here on 18 WJTS. I'm Carey Schneider along with Jason Stamm and Jeremy Marcos, and tonight the Wildcats are back home after a quick trip on the road last week at North to take on the Washington Hatchets, an old former foe of the Big 8 Conference. That Cats remained on the schedule. Long-time rivalry actually between these two schools that go way back. The Hatchets coming in tonight's ball game at 5-7 under first-year head coach Bo Burkhart. Well, the Wildcats are 7-4, and Jason, last week the Cats took one a little bit on the chin at at North last Saturday night. Kind of a game, you know, of course, it was the second of 2 weeks, which we saw 3 games in a week's span. You know, and again, like I said, ran into a very tough North Ball Club, and, you know, I don't want to really make too many excuses, but kind of ran out of the gas after a long stretch there.
Yeah, I think so. You know, talking to Coach Gable a little bit after your interview with him, you know, and that's kind of what he told me, and
right.
He may have said that on the air,
yes,
but,
he did.
you know, he said 6 games in 2 weeks there was quite a bit. You could just tell our energy wasn't there, you know, and you understand it, but yet, you know, these kids, they're young kids. You know, I would think they should be able to adapt to that. But either way, you got to give credit to North, because North's got a very good basketball team. You know, and I think those two things combined kind of played into that factor that, you know, we were a little sluggish and tired.
Well, John put it, it's like it looked like a deer in the headlights, you know, and so forth, a little bit going in. But,
right, yeah. And, you know, it is what it is, but, you know, we'll have to see how we can respond tonight. You know, we've had a good week of practice and be ready to go tonight.
Well, we've had 7 days to rest, so obviously things we should see a fresher ball club tonight. But we're playing a Washington ball club, Jason, that lost, I believe, 7 out of its first 9 games, but they have run off 3 in a row now. They are 5-7 coming in after defeating Heritage Hills 77-70 last week, and then Boonville last night. They knocked off the Pioneers 41-40.
Yeah, you know, early in their year, you know, they were probably trying to find some identity under a new coach, and you know, here now they're playing a lot better. So we'll see what we got tonight.
Well, the Hatchets control the tip. They have Cooper Wright, Cordell Turner, Brody Arms, Jacob Garland, and Xavier Leisure on the floor, while the Cats start their normal starting lineup of Riley Foy, Logan Day, Max Butel, and Levi Klaus and Jalen Mainers, who just blocked that shot. Jasper will have their first possession as we're just underway here at the Jasper High School gym. The Hatchets under, as we said, first-year coach Bo Burkhart, son of Shane Burkhart, longtime coach, the winningest coach actually at Bosse. So of course, and he was a very fine player. I remember playing for his dad at down in Evansville back in his day. He replaces longtime coach Gene Miller, who was actually here tonight. Here's a three-point shot up and in by Logan Day, and the Wildcats jump out on top 3-0. So there's a steal this time again by Mainers. He will deal it off to Day and put it up and in. Logan Day's got the first 5 points of this contest, 5-0 Jasper. And the Hatchets with it. Right with it in the backcourt. He's got a little head gear on there, you see. And
looks like he might have a broken nose or something like that.
Usually the case. Leisure was a late starter. Kind of a scratch by original starter was Jack Brower, who will not play tonight for the Hatchets. That shot is missed. Foy over to, well, now with it is Butel. Day now on the wing. Ball's knocked away as they tried to find Mainers down low. Here is Wright, and he loses the handle, and a scramble for the loose ball, and a whistle, and a foul is going to be called, it looks like. That foul will go against Cooper Wright. Said Hatchets coming in tonight's ball game, 5-7. They lost 7 of their first, or sorry, 7 ball games out of the first 9, and would have one going on to win 3 in a row coming into this contest. So they are an improved ball club. That three-point shot is no good. Wright will bring it up the floor. He'll deal it over to Turner. Turner loses the handle. And it'll belong to the Wildcats on the Washington turnover. These two ball clubs, as we of course know, Jason, have a history, these two programs, go way, way back.
Oh, yeah.
One time they used to play each other twice a year, I remember, back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Mainers inside the lane, turns around, no, not get that to fall. Tip, and coming up with his Butel. He loses the handle. It'll belong to Washington.
Both teams are, well, that wasn't really sloppy. That was just kind of scramble for the ball, but that's 5 turnovers here in the first 4 minutes of the game, 3 minutes of the game, so.
Hatchets with the basketball. Armis over to Cooper, right, and now here is Leisure with it and fires, well, a three-point shot is no good this time by Turner. Quickly down the floor are the Wildcats. Drive to the hole, that shot will not fall for Riley Foy. Jasper's come up short on their last couple of possessions, 2 or 3 possessions here, and Hatchets, of course, well, they've yet to score, so, and that ball is knocked out of bounds. It will belong to Washington. Levi Burr-Kemper, a 6'4" junior, checks into the lineup for the first time tonight. Three-point shot from the wing is no good by Arms. And well, yeah, see who comes out of this mess here. And we're gonna have a foul called after all said and done.
Both teams are scrapping, you know, every ball that's on the floor, everybody's getting down there after it.
Timeout is called with 4:01 to go in this first quarter of play. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and take a break. 5-0 Jasper's our score. Jack Levin checks in for the Cats when we return. We'll be back after this on 18 WJTS.
The winter clearance event is on at Jubilar Toyota in Jasper. Right now, get year-end savings on remaining new 2025 models in stock, but only while supplies last. Shop favorites like the tough and powerful Tacoma pickup and the popular versatile RAV4 SUV. Available now and priced to move. Plus, you never pay any dealer fees or document fees at Jubilar's, saving you even more. Don't delay. Come in today for the winter clearance event at Jubilar Toyota in Jasper, where customers send their friends since 1929.
5-0 Jasper leads after a quick 30-second timeout. Jason, right now it looks like both teams just had to settle down there a little bit and gain their composure.
Yeah, I think so. That was probably a good timeout maybe for both teams actually to, like you said, gain some composure on it.
So Jasper will have it at the 4-minute mark. As we said at the break, Jack Levin is now in the contest for the Wildcats. Max Butel will work in the backcourt. He'll deal it over to Levin. Foy. Butel drives. Finds Jack Levin. Shot off the glass, no good. And Mainers with the rebound tries to put up a follow-up shot, but that will not fall, but he will draw the foul, and it will be called on, I believe, on Burke-Kemper, and it will. So Levi Burke-Kemper just checked in for Coach Burkhart's ball club, picks up the 3rd foul of this quarter, and Mainer's first shot is short. he'll have another coming. Jasper was quite hot from the line in the early stages of this season, and it looks kind of cooled off a little bit, needs to say, the last few games, as Mainers misses the second of those two. Armas drives to the hole. He will get it up and in, and that's the first bucket of the night for Washington. 5-2 is the score.
Thought he traveled, but the official on the far side said that somebody knocked it out of his hand, so.
Jasper 5, Washington 2. 3:08 to go in this first quarter of play. Jasper with the basketball. Here's Day, he spins. It's triple team. Deals it out to Mainers, he'll fire a three, and it's short. And a long rebound. Mainers picks it up and they'll bring it down the floor. To Utel. Logan back out to Mainers. Here's Riley Foy on the wing. Down low to Jalen, and the foul is going to be called on the floor on Washington. Hatchet player got a piece of the Wildcat junior. So it'll be on the floor and check it in for the Wildcats. Is going to be Kean Lamont. Turnover to the Hatchets. Here's a 17-footer, no good by Burkhamper. Riley on the backcourt. Nearing 2 minutes to go in this first quarter of play. Jasper still leads it 5-2. Mainers, muscles, puts it up, got it. Jalen Mainers picks up his first bucket. 7-2 Jasper.
I like to see Mainers is inside tonight, you know, trying to take advantage of his height and his jumping ability in there.
Right, we'll deal it over to Garland. Over on the other side is Armas. Garland pumps a three, and he will not hit that shot. Jasper with the rebound. Lamont will bring it up. He was looking at the shot, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Driving to the baseline is Day. He'll put it up and in, and a foul. Nice drive to the hole by Logan Day for his 7th point. He'll have a free throw coming. Foul will be called, it looks like, on Jacob Garland, and it will be his second. As Cordell Turner will check back in for the Hatchets. Day will have a free throw coming. He's got 7, looking for number 8, and to give a chance to give the Wildcats an 8-point lead, and he does. 10-2 is the score. 1:18 to go in the quarter. Jasper's been pretty stingy here on defense here in this first quarter, Jason.
Yeah, they've done a good job of forcing them into some tough shots. I mean, that's a close shot, but it's still a contested, tough shot.
Absolutely, and the rebound comes to Lamont, and he will pump a three and miss it. And the board is to Turner. Wright will bring it up. Burkhamper. Wright deals it over to Burkhamper on the left side of the steal by the Wildcats, Riley Foy. Riley will take it to the hole, but it'll draw the foul. Nice steal, nice drive by Riley Foy. He will, as we said, draw the foul on the Hatchets. It looks like, yes, there it was, number 5, Xavier Leisure, who will be called for his first personal. Foy will have 2 free throws coming, and he'll hit the first. Levi Klaus will come back in for the Cats. Eleven to 2, Cats by 9. Foy with the second shot coming, and he hits it. Foy's got 2 on 2 of 2 from the stripe. Ethan Thornburg in the lineup for Jasper. "20 seconds to go. 12-2 is the score. Cats with the 10-point lead, and the Hatchets will work for the last shot, it looks like. Driving to the basket was Cooper Miller, or Cooper Wright, I should say, I guess. And but he will draw the foul on the Wildcats. Looks like that's going to be on Levin. Levin with his first foul of the game for Jasper. 6 seconds to go in the quarter. 12-2 is our score. Ball stolen away, 3 seconds. Stop, pop, and hit right at the buzzer. Rogan Day with his second three-pointer of the night. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points in the first quarter. 11 of the Wildcats 15. They lead it 15-2 after 1. We'll be back after this on 18 WJTS.
Southern Indiana Propane recognizes the hard work and dedication that our student athletes put forth to prepare to play their best in representation of our schools. The team at Southern Indiana Propane works to be tough on safety and easy on the pocketbook for our customers. When it comes to safety, we are the most stringent in the area because we want to do all we can to help our customers have confidence that their energy choice is a safe and efficient low-carbon option that is reliable and ready when you are. Propane, energy for everyone.
High School Gym, the Wildcats take a 15-2 lead, Jason, as a stingy defense we talked about a little bit for there, which the Wildcats have held the Hatchets to just 2 points after that first quarter.
Yeah, their shooting's just, you know, they can't throw it in the ocean right now, but I think a lot of that has to do with our defense. You know, we talk about that time in and time out about how teams aren't used to teams playing defense the way we tried to do it, and so far tonight, we're doing a very good job of it.
So Jasper will have the basketball to start the second quarter. Klaus and Thornburg and Butel and Foy and Mainers on the floor to start this second quarter. 15-2 is the score. Jasper off to a firing start, but as Jason said, Washington having a hard time shooting, but not the Wildcats, as there's a three-point basket right there by Max Butel, his first bucket of the night. It's 18-2, Jasper with a 16-point lead. Drive to the hole, scoop shot is no good, but a foul is going to be called on the Wildcats.
You know, Jasper, like we said, during the first quarter, we forced them into some tough shots, and also Washington had 5 turnovers in the first quarter, so good job of defense.
2 shots coming at the line here by Xavier Leisure, and his first one is no good. Hatchets, as we said, coming in rather hot. They had a nice 77-70 win last week against Heritage Hills. As that shot does not fall. Big victory last night against Boonville, 41-40. Of course, here's a 3 on the way by Mainers. It's no good, but coming up with the offensive board is Thornburg. Max drives, down low to Jalen, off the glass, and he gets the roll. Kind of rolled around the rim, and it went through.
Yeah, it did.
So Mainers has his 4th point. Ball knocked away, stolen away by the Cats. Here's Riley Foy. Foy up and in. Foy's got his 4th point. Coach Burkhart wants to talk about it. Jasper jumps out to a 20-point lead with 6:46 to go in the quarter. We'll be back after this on 18 WJTS.
Contact Maringer Plumbing, Heating and Air at 812-482-4425. That's 812-482-4425. Located at 723 3rd Avenue in Jasper.
It's hard to stop a train.
First touchdown, I think. Back at the Jasper High School Gymnasium, the Wildcats have roared to a 20-point, 22-2 lead. Timeout by Washington as the Hatchets try to regroup, Jason. And we were just saying during the break, well, I mean, this sure as heck can't be the ball club that took care of Heritage Hills and Boonville two of the last three outings.
No, definitely not. They're struggling tonight.
They're trying to find, sometimes you see a team that tries to find its identity in a certain point of a ball game, and they sure as heck are in this point of this game. And that shot is no good by Cordell Turner.
Ooh.
Cats looking to pour it on. Drive to the hole, up and in. They can't get anything to fall. I mean, not to fall, I should say.
Yeah.
You know, as Riley Foy has his 6 point. 24-2, 22-point lead now for Jasper. Here's a long three-point shot, no good by Turner, but the Hatchets come up with the basketball. Halftime of tonight's game, they will be honoring the 1981 Jasper basketball team, which captured the sectional 45 years ago this year. Coach Rex May, still spry after 90-plus years of age, still makes it to a lot of the ball games, every home game you see him at. And
oh, yeah.
Even sometimes on the road. That's great to see. Of course, he's here tonight. Mike Ballinger on hand tonight. Of course, a star of that ball club. And be fun to watch that at halftime here.
Yeah, it's good to get all those guys back and, you know, honor them for a sectional title. That was back when, you know, you had one class basketball, no three-pointers.
Yep.
Basketball was basketball then.
You're darn right. And the sectional was the sectional. Three-point shot is good by Jalen Mainers. He's got his 7th point of the night. Here's an answer by the Hatchets as they get their first one to fall, at least their first three-point shot to fall. And that's number 14, new in the contest, Aiden Boyd. So Aiden Boyd right off the bench answers for the Hatchets. I missed it.
Ernie.
Ernie, okay. Yeah. Was that a 3?
No, it was a 2. Washington tried to switch to his own defense there, and we did a good job with ball movement and ended up with a 2-foot shot.
Okay, I was putting Boyd in my book on my sheet here. So Parker Ernie with a 2-point basket. And we got a foul called. Foul was called on Mainers, it looks like. First. Long three-pointer. This one is short by Jacob Garland. And the Cats will have the basketball, leading 29-5. Tell within the backcourt. Boyd crosses it over to Day. Logan.
Yeah, Washington's in a 2-1-2 zone. We just got to move the balls right there.
Tried to find Parker Ernie down low. The pass was a little too hard on him, and he lost the handle, and the turnover will give the basketball back to Washington.
I'll take that turnover, though, because we were doing what we needed to do. We were moving the ball with passes. It was just a little bit, like you said, a little bit too hard for him to handle. But
here's a three-point shot. It is no good. Another long one by Boyd, and that one is short. And basketball will belong to the Wildcats. As Cash Kendall will come into the lineup. There's a 3 on the way. It's short by Logan Day, and the Hatchets will push it up the floor. Nice outlet pass up and in. Is
sure
Cordell,
how he got that one to go in.
Well,
but
Cordell Turner with his first bucket. 29-7 is the score now. In the corner is Day. Out to Max Butel. Right side to Riley. Here's a three-point shot. It is no good by Cash Kendall. And the Cats maintain possession.
Good job. Good job. We got the rebound. Didn't force anything. You got a big lead. You can be patient.
Foy fires a three and hits it. Why not? Riley Foy's got 7 points here in the second quarter alone, 9 in the contest. Nice hustle there, an effort by Cash Kendall to save that basketball. But it will belong to the Hatchets. About 2.5 minutes to go in this first half of play. 32-7 is the score. Cats outscored the Hatchets 15-2 in the first quarter, 17-5 here in the second. Shot is blocked by Mainers. Up the floor come the Cats. Three-point shot is way off the mark, overshot by Foy, and it'll belong to Jasper. We got Lamond, Thornburg, as well as Ernie back in. Here's a three-point shot. It is good. Logan Day. Cats are hot from outside the arc tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 three-pointers here in the first half by the Wildcats, and still Lamont has it. He loses the handle but comes back with it. 1:46 to go. Ernie, Lamont. Down low to Jalen Mainers. Parker Ernie up and in. Parker Ernie has his second bucket. He's got 4 points here in the second quarter. 37-7, Cats jump out by 30. $1:15 to go. Burkemper out there to Boyd. Here's a three-pointer for the top of the key, no good by Turner. Under a minute to go in the half. Mainers turns and fires and hits.
This is about two polar opposites. They can't hit anything and we can't miss anything.
9 points for Mainers, and they nail that shot. Nice little jump shot there by Jacob Garland for his first two. 39-9 is our score. 17 seconds. 11. Mainers on the baseline. Turns, fires, and could not get that one to fall. And that is the end of the first quarter of play with the score. Jasper well in command here in the first, after one half of basketball at the JHS gym. 39-9 is our score, Jason, as we'll discuss this here for a quick minute here before we take a break. You know, as I said, it's just some hot shooting for the Cats tonight, and just well in control of this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, our defense is obviously playing a big factor into Washington's inability to put the ball in the hole, but I'm sure they're better shooters than what they're shooting the ball tonight. So, you know, that's obvious. We score 70 points against Heritage Hills. So, you know, it's one of those nights. You know, you have those every now and then. Not that often, but, you know, tonight is a night where everything we're doing is right, everything they're doing is wrong, and that is indicative of the score, 39. We're up 30 points here at halftime. So, there's not a whole lot you can say about it. It's one of those games. I'm sure Coach Burkhart will try to talk about it at halftime about, just doing. At this point, you don't try to necessarily try to win the game, but you try to get back on track, doing the things that you're used to doing, running your offense and doing those things. And Coach Gable, on the other hand, he's got to be very pleased with the first half, with our defense, and then also on offense what we were able to accomplish. So he's gonna instill in his kids at halftime, keep doing what we did the first half to get us to this point. So
that's right.
We'll see how it goes.
That's right. Well, as you can see right now on the floor, as we already indicated earlier, members of the 1981 Jasper Wildcat Basketball Ball Club who captured the Southridge Sectional in 1981 are being introduced. You see likes of Ken Schulteis, John Schulteis, Dwayne Murder, Bob Pope, Mike Berger right now taking the floor, and here comes Mike Ballinger as well. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players among that class being introduced, and coming on the floor right now is the one and only Rex May. Rex was, of course, the head coach. That was his first season of 4 years as the Wildcat head coach. Rex was a longtime assistant under Ed Schulteis and Ed Kirshner before finally being named the head coach there in the beginning of 1981, and in his first season led the Cats to a sectional championship, Jason, at Southridge. You and I remember those days really well.
Oh, there's no doubt. That was fun to go to those sectionals when the place was packed. You couldn't get a ticket, and it was just a lot of fun to see those days, to take in the sectionals, because it was, it's something that we'll remember our whole life.
Absolutely.
It was just a lot of fun. And Coach May, he's been a I don't know, an idol of mine and a hero of mine for years and years. I remember in high school, he used to be in charge of the bookstore
yes.
and he would write me a pass to come in the mornings, and I would be able to go in the bookstore and sleep on the floor before school started. And, Coach May, he was just, he is a great, great man.
Absolutely. I remember, speaking of the bookstore, you go buy a pencil and he'd say, here, tell him where you got it. He was the ultimate salesman. I had him as a teacher both my junior and senior years in 2 different subjects. And everybody, what he and I used to do was we always make our bets on Fridays, and for that weekend's football, basketball games, whatever. And then on Monday morning, we'd sell our bets. Guys used to tell me, he'd say, "Hey, Steins, get Mr. May going or whatever." So we keep talking, so we'd probably spend about half of the period talking about things. So but Rex was a wonderful guy, and I still consider him a great friend. I love seeing him here at the games. He's over 90 years old now, looking great health, super as ever. So.
Yep.
Great to see the guys here tonight and bringing back members. And you're talking about the Southridge Sectional. One thing I just want to quickly point out before we take a break is when we went to Southridge just a few weeks ago for the game against Raiders, every time I go into that gym, the memories come back.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Oh, no doubt.
They always, Washington's the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy going over there in the regular season because, that was used to be the thing was when you won the sectional, you went to Washington to play in the regional.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you would go over there and that place would be packed too. So, I mean, those are just great memories that will live forever with me.
Especially me too, buddy. Well, all right, so we'll take a break. And again, it's great to see members of the 1981 Jasper Wildcat Sectional Championship team, along with their coach Rex May, on hand being honored here at halftime. We'll be back with the second half right after this here on 18 WJTS.
Think about the journey, not about how you're getting there. The all-new Michelin LTX MS2, engineered for 2 extra years of tread life. Available at DuBois County Tire and Supply in Jasper.
Big or small, we service all. DuBois County Tire.
High School Gymnasium, as we're about to bring you the second half of tonight's ball game between the Jasper Wildcats and the Washington Hatchets. Jasper with a 30-point lead here at Jason at halftime, and where you go from here?
Well, it's like, we talked there during the break. Jasper's got to continue to play with the energy, do the things that they did to get that 30-point lead. You can't come out and relax in the second half. You know, that's a big number to overtake for Washington, but you also don't want them to get it down to a single-digit game.
Well, the Cats come up with a steal on Washington's first possession of the half, and Jasper outscored the Hatchets 15-2 in the first quarter, 24-7 in the second quarter. Hatchets with Turner, Arms, Garland with 2 points apiece. Aiden Boyd with 3 points off the bench on a long three-point bomb he nailed right before or right after he came in to the ball game, and there's a steal by the Hatchets. Shot put up and good by number 24, Cordell Turner, who has his 4th point. Both teams with their original starting lineups to start the second half. By the way, for the Wildcats, they are led in scoring by Logan Day with 14 first half points, 9 points for Riley Foy, 9 points for Jalen Mainers as that shot is no good. 4 points for Parker Ernie off the bench, and Levi Klaus with 3. 39-11 is the score. Mainers pumps a 3 and comes up short. Long rebound, and it'll come up to the, Hatchets will come up with it.
That's what you got to be careful here in the second half. You know, we've taken 2 quick threes now in two possessions. And that's not that they're gonna get back in the game, but that can lead to them making it a closer game.
2 quick buckets to start the second half by Cordell Turner to 39-13 now is the score. So the Hatchets come out, score the first 4 points of the second half. 39-13 is the score with 6:31 to go in the third quarter play, just underway here on 18 WJTS. Driving to the hole and drawing the foul is Cordell Turner. That foul will go on, it looks like, Klaus. It will be on Klaus. That'll be his second. And going to the line to shoot 2 will be Cordell Turner. Turner nails the first. Leads the scoring for the Hatchets tonight with 7. Hatchets now 1 of 3 from the line in the ball game. Turner will have a second one, and he will zip it. So Turner's got 6 points, all the Hatchets points here in the second quarter, 8 in the ball game. Jasper with the basketball, they lead it 39-15. Klaus down low, loses the handle. Mainers comes up with it. He'll put it up and in. Jalen Mainers with his 11th point. 41-15 is the score. Shot up and in by Cordell Turner. Turner with all 8 points for the Hatchets here in the third quarter. 10 in the contest. Easily lead the Hatchets in scoring. And a foul is going to be called. Was that on Turner? I guess it was. It'll be his first. Turner almost coming with the steals. The Cats, just holding him. Well, he's out. Grabbing him by the arm was Brody Arms for the foul and took down Foy. Or was that actually, yeah, it was Foy.
Yeah.
That is going to be Arms, I believe, his third. And it will be. Hatchets look like it put a little pressure on there, but on the other end, they find Mainers. Then Jalen Mainers has his 13th point. 4th here in the quarter. Nice drive to the hole, up and in by Jacob Garland for his second bucket of the night. He's got 4, 43-19, Jasper with the lead. Mainers low, puts it up and cannot get it to fall. He tries a little scoop shot underneath. Hatchets with the basketball. They trail 43-19. 4:42 to go in the third quarter. Here's a three, no good by Garland. So Jasper will work their offense. Tell, left side, Foy. Here's Klaus, gets bumped, no call. And drawing the foul, looks like will be Day on the floor. That will be at least the fourth foul for the Hatchets already here in the third with, I believe it is, 4 minutes to go. And already Washington has 4 fouls here in the third. That foul was called on Xavier Leeser. His second. Turnaround shot is no good. Hatchets with it.
Looked like he got fouled.
Down the other end is Cordell Turner. This 10th point here in the third quarter, 12 in the contest. The timeout is called with 3:51 to go. Jasper leads at 43-21. We'll be back after this on 18 WJTS.
The winter clearance event is on at Jubilar Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper. Right now, get year-end savings on select new Chevrolet models in stock, but only while supplies last. Shop favorites like the tough, dependable Silverado pickup, the comfortable and versatile Equinox, and the fun, fuel-efficient Trax. All priced to move. Plus, you never pay any dealer fees or document fees at Jubilar's, saving you even more. Don't delay. Come in today for the winter clearance event at Jubilar Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper, where customers send their friends since 1929.
3:51 to go in the third quarter, Jason, after a quick timeout. And just for them to kind of get their composure back a little bit. But I was going to say it was an ugly quarter so far, but, you know. Right
well, I think we've let up a little bit on our defense. We've gotten beat back on a couple of breaks, fast breaks, and I think we've taken some shots that we don't necessarily need to shoot. You know, when you're up this big, you need to break that press and then, you know, set up your offense, run the clock, you know.
Yeah, right now, Washington, let's see what, well, I was going to say, wait, see how I shot, but right now they're outscoring the Wildcats 12-4 here in this quarter. After Jasper had a 30-point lead and 39-9 at halftime. Nice floated shot up there by Max Butel for his 5th point. Now on the other end, answering is number 32 for the Hatchets, Brody Arms.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You know, we got a nice bucket here. Sprint down there and play defense. Don't give them an easy one.
Mainers was down low, tried to put the shot up, but was fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
So far, we've done a pretty decent job with breaking the press. But again, like I said, I just feel like once we break it, we're, you know, a couple times there we took some three-pointers. If you're shooting a layup and you miss it, you know, that's one thing, beating the press. But, you know, shooting a three, you can get that at any point. You know, you don't need to just run down and shoot that.
Exactly. You know, like I said, when you got this comfortable of a lead, you know, you don't want to take, you know, obviously the foot off the gas.
No.
But at the same time, don't force anything. As
Right.
Mainers nails both of those free throws. He's got, let's see, 15 points on the night. 47-23, Jasper with the lead. 3-point basket is good by Levi Bergkemper. His second three-pointer of the night. He's got 6. 47-26. Both knocked out of bounds and belong to the Wildcats.
But again, you know, Max dribbled it a little bit too far and let him fall into the double team and the trap. But it's you know, this is good for us, you know, to face this kind of pressure, to see how we can react to it.
Mainers up and in. Nice speed by Logan Day. 16 points for Jalen. 19 to go in this third quarter. Ball is out of bounds. It belonged to Washington. And looks like Lamont just checked back in for the Cats, as does Thornburg. Butel and Day will get a rest. 23-point lead for the Cats, 49-26. There's a jumper no good by Turner. Foul is going to be called, it looks like, on Boyd. And it will. And Boyd will pick up his second. And that will be easily, well, over the limit for the Hatchets. With 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, going to the line to shoot two will be Riley Foy, who's got 9 points. Foy is 2 for 2 from the stripe tonight. Hits that first one. 26. That one is good as well. Foy's got 11. One of 3 Wildcats in double figures so far tonight. There's a swat away by Mainers. Jasper leads 51-26. Amon puts it up and in. Keelan Amon picks up his first 2 points. 53-26. Parker Ernie getting set to check back in. 1:27 to go in the quarter. 3-point shot is off the mark, no good by Wright. Foy out to Mainers. We'll deal it over to Lamont. 1:10 to go. Thornburg in the corner. Lamont back out top of the key.
Washington doesn't play real aggressive defense. They don't force you to do things that you don't want to do.
Almost had a turnover there, but the Cats came up with it. 37 seconds to go. Jasper will deal it down low to Mainers, who loses the handle, but there's Jack Levin. Johnny on the spot, so to speak, with his first bucket of the night. 3-point shot is no good by Boyd, and long rebound to the Wildcats. 17 seconds to go. They lead it 55-26. Three-point shot by Foy is no good. Tip up, no good. There's Levin. Jack Levin with his second bucket, second straight basket, in fact, right at the buzzer. 57-26 is their score. After 3, we'll be back after this on 18 WJTS.
101 Country, WBDC, your morning brain teaser.
Here's Dolly Parton now on Lunch with the Legends on 101 Country.
All right, leading things off on a Good Time Gold Saturday morning.
Beezer, good morning.
Good morning, Ty.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Be sure to join me from 3 to 6 for Afternoons with Amanda.
We are 101 Country, WBDC.
Jason, as we started the third quarter, Hatchets came out roaring a little bit there, but Jasper got on fire and still ended up outscoring the Hatchets 18-17 in that third.
Yeah, Washington, obviously, they scored 17 points in that quarter, and they did a lot of that by pushing the ball down the floor. They caught us sleeping a few times. So I think, that's one thing that we need to do a little bit better job of, is not letting them have the easy fast break baskets.
Trying to force a shot up, no good, is Logan Day, but he will draw the foul. And that foul will go on Levi Burkemper for his second, I believe. Yes, it is. Logan Day will go to the line to shoot 2. He has one trip to the line. In fact, completed 3-point play back in the first quarter, which he scored 11 of his 14 points in that first quarter. He nails the first of these 2. He's got 15. That one will not fall, but Ernie comes up with the basketball. (58-26) is the score. Just underway here in the fourth quarter.
I look for Jasper in this quarter to do a lot of what they're doing now. You know, ball movement, look inside in case somebody gets open where you get an easy basket. But, you know, obviously in this situation, you just want the clock to run. You don't want that.
Nope. Steal by the Hatchets, but a nice block by Parker Ernie on the layup layup attempt by Boyd. And what do we have here? We had, well, foul is called, I guess, on Jasper.
No, Washington.
No, actually Washington, my bad, sorry. And that was Burkemper, and that will be his third. Follow up by Parker Ernie is good. Ernie with his 6-point. 60-26. That jumper is short. And drawing the foul is going to be Lamond. Lamond's got 2 points. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that foul is on Burkemper, his 4th. So 2 shots at the line for Lamond. His first one is good. His first points of the night, his 3rd point of the night. Burkemper with 4 fouls will sit down, as will Logan Day for the Wildcats. That one is good. Lamond's got 4. 61-26 is the story. Passes down low to a new face in the ball game for the Hatchets, and that is number 22, Jake Johnson. Johnson was unable to handle that pass. Jasper will maintain the basketball. Just under 6 minutes to go in this ball game. So right now the Wildcats look to be on their way to their 8th victory of the year.
Yeah, I'd say that's.
I think it's a safe assumption.
Yeah, it's
62-26. But I was gonna get at was
you don't want to count your chickens before they
No.
hatch, but you know.
Well,
the eggs are cracked. So.
I say the eggs are cracked and the yolk is out, but
Yeah.
Blow this lead here, and well, we got some problems. But 5:26 to go in the ball game. Actually, well, running clock is now going, I should say.
Yeah.
Just now realized something we're not used to seeing a whole lot here.
No,
so
you don't see it a lot at the varsity action.
No. In fact, the only time I think I saw it, well, this year in any ball game was actually in that Jasper and Southridge girls game prior to the boys game down in Huntingburg last month.
Yeah.
5 minutes to go. And as a 35-point is the differential, just like in football, isn't it? In basketball, I thought so. So we'll just let this last 4.5 minutes plus to run out as a foul was called on the Wildcats. I believe that was on Kendall. And Leisure will go to the line to shoot 2. He is 0 for 2 from the line. He almost made it 0 for 3 as that one did finally fall through. His first points of the night. And actually the first points for Washington here in the fourth quarter. So it's kind of been a tale of 2 stories here for Washington. They got hot in that third quarter, but have really struggled here in the fourth quarter again like they did in all the first half. Only scoring 9 points in that first half, 17 points in the third. And now they just picked up their first 2 points here in the fourth with under 4.5 to play. Look here. Well, here's Lamont for a 3, and that one will not fall. Rebound comes to Leisure. And a steal by Jack Levin. 4 minutes to go, and Coach Gable will start to unload the bench. Even more, that is. Of course, looks like all the starters are out of this ball game.
Yeah.
It's all the seniors that are out there now, except for Ernie. We do have 7 seniors on this Wildcat club this year, 3 of which start. 3.5 to go, and I think there was a foul was called, or did they?
Yeah, I think that's what he was motioning. I don't know.
I wasn't sure. I thought maybe John called timeout to get. We got Nicholas Aguilera and Tanner Young and Brandon Boozy in the lineup now.
Now you got 2 seniors, sophomore or junior, and a freshman.
And a travel. But, yeah.
Boozy's a freshman.
Yeah.
And he's been dressing with the varsity here the last, 4 or 5 games, I think. And I think he could have a pretty good future in basketball. He's a very athletic young man.
Stolen away. Here is Boozy with it. He'll put the shot up, no good, but he'll draw the foul. Take your time if you want to get up there and get some points on the board there, Brandon. Hurry up because the clock is running. Actually, they did stop it.
Yeah,
now.
I think they stop it at free throws.
Do they stop at free throws?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not too often.
A while ago, they left it running, and then they finally stopped it. But
Boozy nails the first of those 2. He got in the contest, I believe, last week.
Yeah, he did get in one game before. I think it was a game I wasn't here.
That was Friday night.
Yeah.
Against Vincennes. Picked up 4 points. He misses that second. Did he hit the first?
Yes.
No, okay, he did. My bad. So 1 point for the freshman. 2 minutes to go. Keeker in the lineup for Washington, by the way, off the bench, number 2. Shot up and in by Cash Kendall. Cash picks up his first 2, 65-28. Out of bounds.
I never saw an official say whose ball it was, but I think
I was going to ask you, did you see it?
they're giving it to Washington, but
1:12 to go. Aguilera. Boozy, shot up and in. Boozy's got 3 points for the freshman. Off the bench tonight. Under a minute to play. And a bump and a foul is going to be called on the Wildcats. I believe that's on Young. They're going to take their time getting them out there. Just let the clock run down.
Yeah.
They're down to 30 seconds now.
It took like 20 seconds after the clock.
They're like, the heck with it.
Yeah.
20 seconds now. And a steal by Aguilera. Nicholas tries to find a man, and he does with Young. Thornburg now, and that will be the end of the ball game. Clock runs down. 67-28 is the final score. Very convincing victory for the Wildcats here as they bounce back from a loss last week against North. in convincing fashion against the Washington Hatchets. So 67-28 is their score, Jason. And again, on the ball game that frankly was kind of, I don't know if you want to call this a surprise as far as the outcome is concerned. I mean,
I would.
Well, I guess so, because the Hatchets, as we said, came into the contest with a 3-point winning streak. You have a couple of very impressive victories over the likes of Heritage Hills and Boonville just last night. And, but rolled over pretty much tonight against the Wildcats, who not to take anything away from the Cats, of course, and they played great defense tonight.
Yeah, they did. I think they set the tone early with our defense. And Washington couldn't buy baskets. Their shots looked good. They just didn't go in. And that's a recipe for a long night. They had 5 turnovers in the first quarter, but they took care of the ball a little bit better after that. But by that point, the game was kind of out of hand already. I just think that, our defense again tonight was a big part of this. And the fact that, in the first half there, we shot the lights out. We hit a high percentage of our shots, and a lot of those shots were 3-pointers. So, that adds up on the point totals pretty quickly. So, it was just one of those nights where you take what you can away from it from Jasper's standpoint. One thing we didn't talk about, Washington is a potential sectional opponent. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, they are. Yes,
yeah.
they are.
I was thinking of that when the game ended, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're.
That's another thing I didn't really give that many thought now until you asked me. But yes, they certainly are. Washington, Vincent, Southridge, Jasper, and Princeton, I believe, are the schools in that.
Yeah. So I mean, if you do run into them again, obviously, I'm sure the coaching staff will let them know that, it's not going to be the same outcome more than likely, because they'll shoot the ball better. Obviously, and I'm not mistaken, I think the sectional is at Washington.
It is at Washington this year.
So, you're going to be playing them on their home floor, if you play them again. So, obviously, that it's a nice statement to make in the regular season, beating a team by, 39 points. But, again, that doesn't carry over to the next time of the potential meeting. So, we'll see what happens if that comes about. But, it's a nice win for Jasper.
Absolutely, and they were very fine defensive showing tonight. In fact, Washington held without even a field goal in the fourth quarter.
You're right, and that, again, we talk about our defense all the time, and defense wins games. There's no doubt. And when we play good defense, it keeps us in games. Obviously, this is a good rebound after the loss at North last week. But, I don't know. There's not a lot to say about it, just, because of the score and that type of thing. But it was, it's a nice win to come back and be able to put that win on.
Absolutely. And, again, there's a lot of ways, obviously, you can look at it and so forth. Again, it is a great victory for the Wildcats tonight. A great team effort, because we had pretty well balanced scoring for the most part. In fact, Cats with three players in double figures tonight, led by Jalen Mainers with 17 points, 15 points by Logan Day, and 11 points by Riley Foy to lead the Cats tonight, along with Parker Ernie with 6 points off the bench. Cash Kendall with 2. 4 points for Lamond and Jack Levin this evening. 5 points for Max Butel, and 3 points off the bench by freshman Boozy. And then, of course, Washington, their main man in double figures was Cordell Turner, who had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of those in the third quarter alone. But still, like I said, I don't know other ways you could really shape this game up or so forth. But, it's a nice win, obviously, when it's just your only game of the week, you know, and so forth. Yeah. Obviously, the rest paid off for the Cats.
Oh, there's no doubt. I heard the Coach Gable show earlier this week, and, he talked about I think they took Monday off.
That's right.
Just because of giving them some extra rest because of the 2 weeks stretch that they had. And like you said, they responded well by getting that, and it showed tonight. We played with some confidence. It was nice to be back home, obviously. Next week, I think we've got 2 games.
I was just going to say, now we go back-to-back on the road next week at Forest Park and at Harrison. Yeah. So Forest Park, always a tough place to win at the Woody there.
Yep, there's no doubt. And Harrison's down a little bit this year from where they normally are. So, that'll be interesting to see when we go back down there. But, it's important that we come back out next Friday night, like you said, going to Ferdinand to play at Forest Park. They're always – that's a county rival, and that's always a dogfight when you go over there.
So, all right. Well, the Wildcats win this contest in convincing fashion. 67-28 is the final score. It looks like we'll have Caleb Bagley hop in with us here, and Caleb grab the headsets there. Caleb, thanks a lot for coming up tonight. Obviously, great way to rebound after a tough loss last week against North. Yeah. A ball game that Coach Gable, and I'm sure, of course, you could agree, we all could agree, was the second straight week in which we played three games. We're a little tired and so forth last week, but talk about how preparations going into this week. Obviously, kind of get picking up your steam again.
Yeah, that was a busy 2 weeks, right at kind of ending the holidays and then straight into playing those 6 games in 2 weeks. But so it was nice to have kind of a week where. Monday we took the day off on Monday actually, and then come in Tuesday through Friday, and a lot of it was focused on us, and then really get into yesterday was more focused on Washington and what they did, but just giving our guys credit for how locked in they were defensively. Like, they just made their life really, really difficult. And that's a team that's been they beat a good Boonville team last night. They put they've been scoring 63, 77 points in the last so many games, and to kind of take that away from them was a huge credit to our guys. I thought they were ready to go. They shared the ball offensively, and the first half was just really a good half of basketball.
And like I said, defensively, we obviously had the clamps down on them and played very well. But also, if you want to look at it, we were shooting the ball very well tonight too. We had 8 3-pointers.
Yeah, and the whole message kind of was like, when you're as locked in as we were defensively, it's funny how you start to kind of get it rolling on offense as well. And obviously, when you're getting stops and then you're scoring, that's how you can obviously build a lead. But even when you're not scoring, if you can get stops, it keeps you in the game, and hopefully you can make some. So you just kind of hung our hat defensively, and it got our offense going. And kind of killed their energy a little bit. I think they're late in the second quarter, where the lead kind of grew and grew.
Speaking of that, offense, it was very much in rhythm this evening as 3 Wildcat scores led by Maynard 17, 15 by Logan Day, and Riley Foy with 11 in double figures tonight. Otherwise, overall a nice balanced scoring attack.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Just the ball, like sharing the basketball, and the big thing is just keeping the game simple. Don't try to do too much. And just shoot good shots. It's simple, but it's kind of silly how often that gets talked about. Like, just help yourself by shooting good shots, and we did that. We were getting shots out of our offense rather than like having to create shots for ourselves. I think we ended up with 16 assists and only 7 turnovers. That's a pretty good number.
And moving ahead to next week, another double dip. A couple of road games, starting off with Forest Park. It's always tough to win at the Woody Beekler Arena, and obviously Forest Park. Big county rivalry next week. Start things off.
Yeah, it's always an exciting place to go. It's a county rivalry that they'll be excited for. We better be excited for as well. And then, like you said, going to Harrison on Saturday is never an easy place. They've been playing better as of late, so it's another good opportunity for us to play 2 good teams on their floor, and another opportunity for us to get better.
So, Caleb, I guess congratulations on the win. Great job bouncing back tonight. We'll see you next week at Forest Park.
Sounds good. Thanks, Carey.
Thank you. Caleb Bagley joining us tonight on our post-game show. Wildcats win it tonight 67-28. The Cats will, as we mentioned, will be on the road for a couple of games next weekend here. Starting on Friday night, they will travel to Ferdinand to take on the Forest Park Rangers at the Woody Beekler Arena. That game will tip off at 7:30, and we'll have that game for you on Saturday morning. at 10 o'clock here on 18 WJTS, and then on the road again Saturday night at Harrison for a 7:30 Du Bois County start. And of course, we'll have that for you at 1 o'clock on Sunday here on 18 WJTS. For Jason Stamm, Jeremy Marcos, and of course Coach Caleb Bagley, this is Carey Schneider saying so long from the Jasper High School Gymnasium, where once again the final score, the Wildcats defeat the Washington Hatchets in overwhelming fashion. 67-28 is the final. So long, everybody.
The preceding was a special presentation of 18 WJTS TV. High school basketball on WJTS is proudly brought to you by Southern Indiana Propane, Mehringer Plumbing, Heating and Air, Du Bois County Tire, Ubalor & Sons Chevy, Cadillac, Toyota, and 18 WJTS, a DC broadcasting company. Thank you for watching.